is me, Audrey, also known as Noble Strength, and welcome back to my channel. And it is time for some Q&A. I'm going to be answering some more of your questions that you submitted, and I thought I would just do this introduction outside because it is so gorgeous out here in Georgia. I hope it is beautiful where you are, and let's just get into these questions, have a little bit of a chat. So stay tuned. So let's get to answering some of those questions that you guys submitted, and some of them may be redundant. I'm not sure if they are. Please forgive me ahead of time because some of them I did not check off the last time I answered them. But let's pick up with this question from Black Magic Woman 123. How many thrift stores are near you and which ones? Well, we have quite a few thrift stores in the Augusta area. There's 4 Goodwills that I am aware of. If there's any out there that I don't know about, I don't know how it got past me, but there are 4 that I'm aware of, and one is like right down the street from me. I was so excited when they opened that up a little over a year ago. So we also have one Salvation Army, and then we have some other privately ran like charity stores. So we have Catholic Social Services, and then there's some other little thrift stores. So quite a few, considering, you know, we're the 2nd largest city in the state of Georgia. But anyway, so yeah, and if, you know, I can't find anything here, we're kind of centrally located to other cities where it's easy to just go and thrift, like in Columbia, which is an hour away, Aiken, which is like 30 minutes away. You can always drive to Atlanta, which is 2 hours away. They have a lot of thrift stores. So, you know, if you're up for a road trip, it's plenty of options for thrifting. So next question, do you keep a wish list of things you would like to buy? I most certainly do. I've talked about that before in my thrift hauls. I do. Right now, a motor jacket, a leather motor jacket is on my list, as well as possibly a vintage Louis Vuitton. And I'm trying to think, are there any others? Oh, and some Christian Louboutins or Louboutins, Christian Louboutins shoes. If I found some that weren't in my size, I would still buy them because I could possibly resell them on Poshmark. So yes, those are some things that are on my wish list. Are there other hobbies that you love that we're not aware of? No, I'm pretty much an open book on my channel. As you know, I love art, and so art is a hobby when I'm not working and teaching it, and I also like to sing. So yeah, I'm pretty open with the things that I enjoy. I don't really have any others. I tried to pick up sewing, but I kind of fell off on that. I did do piano for a little bit, but I fell on that. I am one of those people, I'll do things for a season and just do it, and then I just kind of put it aside. I'm always looking for something new. So yeah, not a lot of things really hold my attention like art has. So the next thing, can you do a video on how to spot a good purse at the thrift store? I most certainly can do that, so I'll keep that on my to-do list. Let's see here. How much time does it take to make a video from beginning to end? Now that's a really good question, and this comes from May. So May, thank you for that question. It usually takes a long time from beginning to end. Like when I'm doing my thrift videos and I do my introduction and then I showcase, that part doesn't take long because that only takes like maybe an hour. Well, I take that back, a little bit longer than that. To do the introduction, to showcase the pieces, and to do the conclusion probably takes about an hour. But the modeling and trying on clothes, that takes about 2 hours. So to film it, it's about 3 hours, and then I have to edit it, and which is another like 2 hours because I don't have really good equipment. My computer runs slow. I have to re-upload, and I have to convert files and all of that. So sometimes it can even take 3 to 4 hours to edit a video and get it uploaded. So from beginning to end, it's like a work day, maybe 6 to 8 hours to do a video. Let's see here. Where did you get your style from? Your mom or your dad? I would have to say neither. Neither one of them were like really, really stylish in my opinion. I know that's terrible, but maybe back in the day, my dad was pretty stylish because I do have some old photos of him from back in the day, and he was pretty stylish. And he did invest in good suits for church and stuff like that. But for the most part, it was from reading magazines. I loved Cosmopolitan, Vogue, all of the style magazines back in the 80s. I would just look at the pictures and just kind of study the models and the fashion. So I would say just kind of developed on my own. Next, where did you go to school to learn art? Well, I did not go to school to learn art. I am self-taught. I went to Tennessee State University in Nashville, Tennessee, and majored in business. And then I went to grad school to get a degree in curriculum and instruction to teach. So I really don't have a degree in art. I taught myself, and I just took the test in order to be able to teach it. So I read books and just kind of learned on my own. Do you usually thrift alone, or do you have friends that like to thrift? I have friends that like to thrift, but I don't go thrifting with them often just because of our schedules. It usually just doesn't work out. But yeah, I do have friends that like to thrift, and it's great because we are all different sizes and heights, so we can just kind of help each other out and shop for one another, which I do. I try to do that. If I see something that I think one of my friends will like, I'll usually get it for them or give them a call and say, oh, this is there, do you want me to get it? Next question, when you go thrifting, do you have a game plan looking for specifics, or do you shop the entire store just for all things? I kind of just do both. You know, sometimes I go in with a specific thing in mind, like I specifically want a high-waisted pant, you know, wide leg or something like that. But then other times I just go with the game plan of going straight to the shoes, then the purses, and then everything else. So I usually go for the accessories first when I go thrifting. All right, next question. What is the most valuable thing you found thrifting? This is from Jessica Gaines. Well, Jessica, one of the most valuable things that I found thrifting is probably a Longchamp Le Pliage shopping bag. It's like in a medium size, and I think online they go for like $190. The small one's like $120 something, and I got a brand new one, or practically brand new. It didn't have the tags, but it looked brand new, for $3. So I thought that was a really great deal. Next, do you have any art projects for the future? This is from Marla Bell. Well, Marla, right now, as of now, no I don't, but come summer, I'm pretty sure I will. Are you working on any DIY home decor projects or anything like that at the time? At the moment, no, but I will be doing something this summer just for some of you guys who have requested that I do some home decor things. Thrift shopping can be addicting. How much is too much? That's a good question. Tracy Taylor asked, how much is too much? Well, Tracy, it's too much if you begin charging and you're creating a surplus of debt for yourself. That's when it's too much. I also think it's too much when it is taking up space in your living space in your home, and it feels like you're claustrophobic, like it becomes like a hoarding issue. Then I believe then there's an issue there. When you can't let go of things and purge, then there may be a problem with that being addicting. But I think, you know, everybody has their, I guess, gauge of when something's addicting. Those are just my gauges for myself when I think something is addicting. So I try not to do any of those things so that I can keep it in control. All right, and then another thing, I think it's addicting, you have a problem when you cannot go into a thrift store without leaving out getting something. Like, there are plenty of times that I go and I just don't find anything, and I'm okay with leaving the store. But some people feel like they have to get something, and I, you know, am just not that way. I don't feel that way. All right, next question. What church do you go to? Well, I go to God's Church of Grace here in Augusta, Georgia. It's a very small congregation, about 30 of us. We're like a family, and I love everybody in my congregation. And it's an affiliate of Grace International, which used to be Worldwide Church of God. So, yeah, that answers that one. Were you always a minimalist with your home decor? And this is from Charmin Young. Yeah, pretty much. I don't like a lot of knickknacks in the house. I don't like feeling claustrophobic. I just don't like a lot of things in my environment. I like to be able to feel like I can breathe. I just like an open home. So yes, I've pretty much been that way all my life. How do you price your items on Poshmark? Well, I try to look at what the going market is doing and then go below that so that my prices are affordable and I have a better chance of selling things. What is your most favorite Bible verse? Oops, I've already answered that one. I will share my hair care routines in the summer, Andy B. Do you usually Google everything prior to purchasing from Goodwill? No, I do not. Most of the time I Google after the fact just to kind of see what deal I got, but no, not beforehand. Are you involved in any church work? This is from Pearline Jones. Well, Pearline, I am not specifically involved per se in like a ministry at church. I do sing backup singing when we do our worship music. I do help with the cleanup of the hospitality because we do like serve refreshments and things like that, and so I do serve in the cleanup committee on that. Not necessarily a committee, but I have just, voluntarily gone in and helped clean up on a consistent basis. Have you ever left something that you found at the store but regretted it? No, not really. What are the fashion trends that you dislike the most? Within recent times? There aren't any really. I don't keep up with trends, so I can't really answer that question. I believe that you buy what you like, and I'm just not a big trendy person. What countries have you visited, and which were your favorites and why? Well, I visited France, I visited England, Italy, and the Bahamas, and my favorite place to visit had to be Italy, and my favorite place in Italy had to be Florence. I just love that area. It's just, near the Tuscan, it's in the Tuscan Valley, and there's just so much beauty there. It was tranquil, and then of course Florence has, your major museums, and I just loved that area. Let's see here. Do you video your journal entries? This is from Cynthia. No, I do not video my journal entries. Would I video some of my journal entries? Possibly. I don't have really anything to hide. They probably wouldn't be very exciting because most of it is just me talking to God and just sharing things with Him. What tips can you give to update vintage thrift store treasures? That's a good question. Maybe I could do a whole separate video on that and just specifically zone in, because to try to answer that now would be kind of difficult. What is your sewing inspiration? Well, there's this woman on YouTube and Instagram. Her name is Mimi, and Mimi G Style. I don't know her official name, but I followed her when I used to be on Instagram a while back, and then I got off Instagram, but she does have a YouTube channel, and I just love her because she shares her patterns, and she's so awesome, and she has a really sweet spirit, and so yeah, she's very inspiring. But I have not been sewing lately. Of course, my mom, she tried to get me to sew when I was little, and I didn't, and then now, as an adult, I kind of started doing it. But yeah, those are my probably two. Have you ever considered foster adoption? And this is from Rosa Santiago. Well, Rosa, that is a good question, and no, I have not. I am of the belief that has to be a calling. I don't believe that everything that is necessarily a need is something that every individual should take on. Just because there's a need doesn't mean it's meant for you to fulfill that need. So I just have not felt that I've been inspired by God to do that. Would I ever do it? If he called me to do it, yes, I probably would, but that has not happened. My calling has been to encourage and inspire children through art and help emerging artists. So I feel like that is my calling. And so, yeah, but I do admire those who do that, and I think it's a very noble and admirable thing to do, but only if you are led. I think so many people do things out of the will of God and not in his purpose for their individual life, because not everybody is called to do a specific thing. So, next question. Have you visited Africa? Would you love to visit Africa? No, I have not visited Africa, and yes, I would love to visit Africa. Any particular places? Kenya. I would like to visit Egypt. I would like to visit Morocco. South Africa. Yes, I would love to visit the continent of Africa. One that I still did not answer, and that is, what bad person out there, what bad person would I eat dinner with that has contributed a lot to society? I'm kind of like paraphrasing it, but that was in a nutshell, like who would I dine with, who maybe was not the nicest person, but who contributed something great to society. Donald Trump. I probably would want to sit down with Donald Trump because he is a mogul when it comes to businesses, and he's contributed a lot economically in keeping our economy going with all of his different entrepreneurial businesses and things like that. He's entertained us with his TV shows, yet he's caused a lot of upheaval in our society and division. But I don't necessarily think he's an awful person. I think he has his flaws just like most people. So maybe, yeah, I would sit down with Donald Trump. But anyway, those are my questions, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and stopping by. And I'll see you next time. Bye.